Hello everyone, my name is Emma Elinawati Warowo, which is the number 013. Today, I would like to present about language and gender, and we will explore how language and gender is influenced by sociolinguistic material. Okay, so first of all, people usually ask, what is language and gender? So, language and gender is a field that studies how people in different genders use language in distinct ways. And it's not just about biological differences between men and women, but more about how society teach us to speak, to behave, and express ourselves differently based on our gender identity. And language is one of the tools that we use to perform gender, and many of our speech patterns are shaped by cultural expectation. And next is there is some question in here. Do men and women actually speak differently? What linguistic features are linked to gender, and how does culture shape these differences? There's three theories that theoretical background that can answer this question. The first of is several research have contributed to important theories to try this field. One of the earliest was Robert Lakoff, who is in 1975 said that women's language tends to be more polite, indirect, and full of hangings, such as saying, I think, or maybe, and this style was believed to reflect women's lower societal social power. The second one is Deborah Tannen introduced the idea that men and women use language in different because they have different communication goals. For example, men use language to complete or to establish status, while women it's used to build connection and relationship. And the third one is Deborah still saying, Deborah Cameron challenged earlier views by saying that gender language isn't fixed. It's something that we perform in different situations, and simply that speech styles are naturally masculine or feminine, but social constructed. So look at here. It's a real life social linguistic example. Let's look a real example of how gender affects language in everyday situation. One common setting is job interview, especially in Indonesia. In my observation, female candidate is often use more polite and modest language. They tend to downplay their achievement and avoid sounding too confident because being so assertive can be judged negatively. And in contrast, male candidates usually speak more directly. They express confidence clearly, and they're more likely to say things like, I'm the right person, or I can lead this team successfully. Okay, so another example in social linguistic example, a female candidate might say, I think my experience could be a valuable contribution to the team, while a male candidate might say, my experience is relevant and I'm confident I can lead this team well. And for example, I am already to observe that example dialect, men, women, and man is, as you can hear, the female speaker soften her statement by using I think or I could, and the male speaker sounds more confident and direct. These differences are not necessarily about competence, but about different expectation placed on each gender. Alright, so what does this mean? Well, women are often expected to be polite, humble, and non-confrontational. That's why many women use indirect speech, hedging, and that question like, don't you think? But on the other hand, men are encouraged to be direct and assertive, which is why their speech tends to sound more powerful and confident. But these differences can lead to problems. For example, a confident man might say seen as strong, while a confident woman and might be judged as arrogant or against aggressive. So yeah, these double standards are part of sociolinguistics try to explain and challenge. So, to conclude, language and gender are deeply connected. Um, the way that we speak is influenced by our gender identity and by what society expects from that identity. So these speech differences are not natural or fixed. They are social behavior that we learn and we can also choose to change them. By understanding language and gender, we can become more aware of our own places and help create communication that is fair, respectful, and inclusive for everyone. So that's all from me. Thank you.